thank you for joining us for Strides today. I'm Addie, your hostess, and today we have with us Mr. Jeff Babb. Mr. Babb, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Addie.
So just to start, share with us a little bit of your background, such as where you grew up, if you ever relocated, anything you'd like to share about your career, and anything you feel comfortable sharing about your disability.
Great. I grew up in a small town in Washington in the Columbia Gorge. So I was in the mountains and in nature quite a bit. And that really formed my life of wanting to be outside and work outside. I had a long career with the Nature Conservancy and Bureau of Land Management and the Forest Service and fire management. So I moved around quite a bit, ultimately spent about 12 years in Florida before eventually getting to move back to the Northwest, where I now live in Bend, Oregon. I've been here for about 20 years. So that was really kind of my first career. I had what turned out to be my first stroke on November 10th, 2005. And obviously that affected my mobility, and I could not be outside so easily anymore. I was in a wheelchair after that first stroke and needed to find out how I could be outside again and adjust my activities to that. I eventually created what I call the adventure, an all-terrain chair, which you see behind me, and that's allowed me to be outside. But a year into the development of that, I had my second brainstem stroke, literally 12 years to the day from the first stroke, and that didn't slow me down. We launched into fundraising, are now very active with this design and development of the chair. My disability again is from a stroke, 2 strokes, and I am very limited in my mobility. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not paralyzed. I'm what's called quadriplegic or weak in all 4 limbs. I can stand with help. I have more sensation in my body than I would like at times. I can feel a lot of pain at times, but again, I try to keep as active as I can to be outside.
Right. So, if you don't mind me asking, obviously your experiences after your stroke, helped you, with the idea of designing your wheelchair to make sure that you could be, outside again. But I also know that you started your own business around that. So, what do you do? Start your own business instead of, say, go to work for another company?
I'm sorry, why did I start my own rather than go to work for someone else?
Yes, basically. I mean, not everyone goes the entrepreneurship route.
Well, it certainly wasn't something I planned on doing as I got close to retirement. I didn't expect I'd be starting my own business, much less one involved in wheelchairs, but it's what presented itself as a real need. There were good opportunities for people with mobility challenges to be outside, whether they're actually disabled or just older and need help being on the trail. And so it just became real obvious. It's, excuse me, niche for me to work on to develop this, and as time goes on, I'm getting a lot more attention from companies and organizations. But I think going my own route was definitely the way I needed to go at that point.
Yes. So when you're not working on designing and promoting your products, since nobody, no matter how dedicated, can work 24/7, because I always say it's not good for your health 24/7. What do you find that you like to do for just relaxation, recreation, etc.?
Yeah, it still revolves around being outside, being around people as much as I can, whether I'm purposely, intentionally testing the chair or organizing a trip. I like to be outside. Bend, Oregon offers a lot of opportunities to be outside very quickly, so it's very easy for me to be outside and enjoying nature and being active.
So that said, what advice do you think you would give to someone else with a disability that might be interested in going into disability product design?
I again, I was really driven here by a need. I feel real strongly that not only did I need to do something myself, but I was always seeing people who obviously needed to be outside, whether they had, excuse me, had a previous connection with being outside, or just simply we could see that being outside would really help them. So it became more of a matter of helping myself than helping other people. So I guess back to your question, I think it's that whole um, incentive or determination to help other people. It's not an easy thing to do to start run a business, but I have that strong determination to do it. But also, very, very important, I have a very good group of friends who want to help me, and they want to help other people be outside and enjoy nature as much as they can.
Right. So, to put it in a nutshell, find what's needed and do it, correct?
Find, you say that find what's needed to do it.
Find what's needed and do it, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, and with mobility challenges of my own, it's not always easy. You have to kind of find workarounds, find ways to make things happen. Whether it's working in an office or being outside. So yeah, I think you summed it up. It's just find ways to do it and make it happen. Whether it's easy or not, chances are it won't be easy. So,
Mhm. So, just to wrap up, is there anything else you would like to add that my other questions didn't cover?
I think again, the key with dealing with disability is just being determined to move ahead, and things are not going to be easy, but there are ways to do it. There are lots of um, networks and support groups to help. And as my wife and I constantly tell each other, There are always people that are having a harder time or worse off than we are, and trying to help them as much. So just being determined to help yourself as well as help other people out.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you to our guests for joining us. And remember everyone, that disability comes with ability.